I love a brunch party. I think there's just something really charming about it, and I think it's a great way to connect.
The long-awaited Meghan Markle show just dropped on Netflix. With Love, Meghan. A show where, according to IMDb, Meghan shares her personal tips, embraces playfulness over perfection, and shows you how to create beauty in unexpected ways. And after binging it, baked beyond comprehension, I have a lot of thoughts. But first, a quick disclaimer. This is not a safe space for gratuitous hate, so please don't leave any nasty hate comments, because I will be deleting them faster than Meghan can get her hands on some artisanal honey from her backyard bee colony. To me, Meghan is an icon, because without ever acknowledging it, she got Piers Morgan to throw a temper tantrum on national television and walk out of his TV set because his feelings were hurt.
You continue to trash her.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can trash him, mate, but not my
No.
See you later.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't do
This is
this.
absolutely diabolical behaviour.
And as a lifelong hater of Piers Morgan, I loved every second of it. And sometimes I go back and rewatch the clip when I need a little pick-me-up. And with all that said, With Love, Meghan has to be the most insufferable TV show I've ever seen in my life. It's a feel-good lifestyle show that teaches you how to make things look pretty, so people will like you. And our host is none other than an Instagram page of inspirational quotes come to life. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. I was Team Meghan. I defended her at every dinner party, family gathering. I cheered when they quit the devil family and moved across the world for some peace and quiet. I even walked out on a date with a really hot guy because he believed that she was brainwashing a grown-ass man who used to dress up like a Nazi for fun. A stance that shall never, ever, ever get close to my body. But the show is incredibly pretentious, almost in a campy way. Like, it was impossible for God knows how many people to have helped make it without them knowing how obnoxious everything comes off as. Every episode, she invites a guest over, either friends or people she's stalked online, and they make cute little Instagram-ready harvest baskets, while Meghan turns every conversation into a flashback of her life and how relatable she is. It's like a PR makeover made by insufferable white women that work off of vibes and color palettes. And it kind of makes me want to jump off a cliff. Just know that if she invites you over to her house, you're doing manual labor. But yes, Meghan shares some of her tips, like harvesting honey from the bees in your backyard, which you could do too if you weren't so dirt poor. Transferring pretzels from one plastic bag to another, smaller plastic bag, so you reduce the serving size, you fat slut. Making a harvest basket with produce you grow in your garden, which you could do too if you weren't so dirt poor, peasant. Slicing bread for breakfast, which you can do too if you like having breakfast, you fat slut. Making your own oil-infused bath salts topped off with tea bags, which you could do too if you had a spare room for guests in your home, but you don't because you're so dirt poor. Decorating plates of food with edible flowers.
It's just an accessory.
And I know you love an accessory.
Which you can do too if your kink is pretending you're eating at a French bistro which you couldn't afford in real life because you're so dirt poor, peasant.
Help me, I'm poor.
No.
Now, obviously, the appeal of the show is Meghan being who she is, you know, Meghan Markle. So a lot of viewers might tune into this series to get some inside tea on how everything went down with the royals. And to those viewers, I say, you're out of luck. Because this is not a drama show, this is a feel-good show. So any references to the event will be kept as vague as possible.
And he has just been in my life for the before, during, and after, shall we say.
And this is how you stay out of the drama, mama. And before we get into the guests, you might be wondering, does her doting husband ever make an appearance? Yes, he does. Like, once or twice, I'm not sure because I fell asleep during most of the episodes. Did I mention the show is like Xanax? She's so soft-spoken, almost whispery, that you pop the show on and you'll be unconscious quicker than she can make her dog some treats. Speaking of dogs, have you found yourself wondering how to make healthy snacks for your furry best friend?
3/4 cup of oat flour, cup of regular flour, 1 egg, tablespoon honey, half cup peanut butter, 1/4 cup of water, filtered of course.
Yeah, you don't want to be using tap water. I mean, if you don't have filtered water in your home, you might as well just drive off a cliff Thelma and Louise style. Not to escape the police, but to escape your miserable existence as a tap water drinker. Anyway, while the dog treats bake, it's time to make some fruit preserve. You know, when you cook expensive fruit with sugar to make luscious preserve, which is not the same as jam, because jam uses a 1-to-1 ratio of fruit and sugar, which we don't, because we're not fat sluts. But we don't have time to discuss how expensive it would be to get a bucket of raspberries just to get a small, tiny jar of fruit preserve, because hey, the dog treats are done.
Doesn't have to be perfect, but it can be a little bit more presentational.
And this summarizes the show pretty well. It's all about making things presentable, turning boring chores into whimsical actions of kindness. So you too can put bows in your jars for no one to see, because you live alone in a shoebox apartment and the only visitors you get are parasites in your tap water.
And I'm putting this in here because this isn't my house. Daniel's gonna be staying at my house, but I'm gonna prep everything here.
Wait, what? Whose house is it? Where are we? Wait, is this Tyler Perry's house still?
Don't tie a knot without a bow. What you don't want to do is make it hard for your guests to get into it.
Girl, who has time to do all this? Okay, if I'm inviting you to my house, I'm gonna have booze, and you can pour your own drinks, because if I make them, you're gonna end up in the hospital with alcohol poisoning. At times, her show turns into a cooking show, where the cooking takes about 2 minutes, and the feel-good conversation about unrelated shit that happened 20 years ago takes about 30, because it's a feel-good show. And you're going to feel real good about not being in that house personally, because it feels like you don't belong there, like you just walked into the wrong house. Luckily, you can just change the channel. Hell, sometimes even the guests look like they don't want to be there.
I wouldn't put it in a clear vase purely because I don't know who has time to change the water on flowers every day.
Who has time? Girl, you just spent the last 3 hours perusing through a flower shop so you can use one of your many flower stands to keep them organized inside of the vase. And you don't have time to change the water if it's a clear vase? I'm sure you have. If anyone has the time, it's gotta be you, Meghan. Come on. Work with us a little bit. Speaking of flowers, did you know that you can make your own flower ice cubes at home? I know, it's crazy. And the most important part is using distilled water, not tap water, because tap water is disgusting, and when it freezes, it becomes cloudy, and then you can't see the flower inside of it, and then you just wasted God knows how long searching for edible flowers to put in water so your drink looks pretty. Distilled water always, as shown in this 5-minute sequence that a 20-second TikTok has taught us 5,000 times in the past. But we don't just decorate food with pointless edible flowers to make it look pretty. We also go on hikes, and we drag the camera crew with us because we need the footage of our conversation about the past, what happened 20 years ago. Am I the only one worried that one of the crew members might get heat stroke?
It is hot out here.
Episode 5 is when things get real white real fast. Meghan has 2 friends over, an advocate and an actress. The actress, you may remember her as Blah Blah from How I Met Your Mother.
Someday the name Blah Blah will be up in lights.
And they all laugh at how much salt their branzino is going to need, all while sipping mimosas made with flower-shaped orange juice ice cubes. That's a mouthful. It's like they're filming those ads where people just eat salads and laugh hysterically. God, I wish I was her friend. Meghan, invite me over. No, actually don't, because this is giving me Get Out vibes, which is crazy because the entire country turned against her because she's not white, and now here she is, acting white.
I have to do it totally wrong
To get it totally right.
White women when they vote Republican and then they lose their jobs because it turns out they were DEI hires. It's funny because it's true. Are you thinking of having friends over, but you're not sure of the etiquette rules? Look no further as the Duchess of Sussex teaches us how to make a crudité. What was that? You don't know what a crudité is? Of course you don't, you dirt poor peasant. A crudité is a French appetizer of raw vegetables served with dips, like hummus. Now, ideally, you would make your own hummus, but Meghan made this show thinking of all you poor bastards who can't even afford avocado on toast. You can use store-bought hummus, as long as you have a nice little bowl to transfer it into, so people don't know that you're probably on food stamps and went into debt trying to make this raw vegetable arrangement. Look how pretty it looks when you take the time to color-code it. And don't forget, edible flowers to decorate and make your disgusting store-bought hummus look expensive. Have you ever had so many citruses you were afraid they would go off before you had the chance to consume them? Me neither. So to fix this issue you don't have and never will, here's a tip. Dehydrating them will actually preserve their flavor, which only takes a modest 6 to 8 hours. But hey, those margaritas are gonna look great with them.
It's just adding that extra bit of decor.
Episode 8 is actually one of my favorites because we get to learn a valuable skill many people urgently need. Pretty gift wrapping. All you need is some friends in your life to give gifts to. But we both know you don't have any friends because you're watching this video instead of hanging out with them. You absolute waste of oxygen. This is also the episode where Meghan invites Chef Alice Waters to help her prepare for a little brunch celebration, and they fawn over the yolk color of the eggs Meghan's rescue chickens laid. That's right. her chickens are rescues. And by the end of this beautiful day, these ladies have made a quiche with some lettuce on the side. And that's how you prepare for a celebration with friends and family. A half-eaten quiche and crudités. And don't forget the handwritten menus, of course. And Netflix being Netflix, they're gonna capitalize on Meghan Markle's popularity, even if critics and audiences both think the show sucks. Because it does. And not because it's Meghan Markle, but because it's incredibly tone deaf and out of touch with reality, right? Look around you. There's so many crises that people are going through that I don't even know what's worse. Buying food, paying rent, surviving. It's all so much. The last thing we need is how to make raw vegetables presentable on a platter, or how to assort cheeses and crackers, or how to transfer pretzels from the bag to a different plastic bag. Isn't she an environmentalist and now we're just wasting plastic for no reason? Come on. Unfortunately, this is also going to give an opportunity for all the Meghan haters to vocally express how much they hate her, except they're going to use this as an excuse to tarnish her person, to tarnish who she is without ever meeting her. Instead of actually criticizing the show for what it is, I know that people are going to take this as an opportunity to be racist, because that's what people do. I even stumble upon a YouTube channel completely dedicated to talking about her in a negative way, and the channel is ran by a woman. Like, the misogyny and pick-me energy is astonishing. But all jokes aside, the show is great for background noise, and I don't mean this as a dig. Like most Netflix shows, you pop them on and then you go do something else while that plays in the background. That's exactly what this show is for. She does make some pretty cute things that we're never gonna do because we're not rich, we don't have the time, we're poor and trying to survive. At least I am. Being very rude to people. You may have a lot of money, and if you do, you know, sharing is caring, right? Please? Love it or hate it, the show is going to stick around. They've already confirmed season 2. It's coming soon, and I, for one, am definitely going to tune in, because sometimes when I'm struggling to sleep, I need a little something to, like, really help me doze off, and this show is fucking perfect. Honestly, try it. Pop it on, lay down comfortably, and just let it happen. You will fall asleep in no time. I don't know why people are so mad. I've seen so many TikToks of people, like, genuinely hating on her and, like, calling her every name under the sun, and I'm like, guys, come on. There's like people dying. This is just a sweet lady who's soft-spoken and cooks for her friends and talks about her past. Like, give her a break. Like I said, she's an icon. She got Piers Morgan to cry on TV, and for that, I'm forever thankful. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to really help the channel and help us grow and get to more people. I know you want to. I know you're tempted. Just click on it. Just click, 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 click. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And until then, make sure to stay safe, stay sane, stay stupid, and stay stuttering. Bye, guys.